Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Stephen. This is the Trade with Stephen program. Here we are being taught how to trade, and also we drop like weekly market updates, weekly market view on our daily prayers. We have USD CAD, USD JPY, and Euro USD. Those are the major three pairs I trade when it comes to the market. So let's look at USD CAD at first. This one is good. First of all, when it comes to pairs that involve the US dollar, we try to look at the movement of DXY index. Yes, try to look at this movement. Let's start from the daily time frame. Sorry. You see, when we've seen the market structure, or how some people may call it directional bias, we see that DXY index is relatively bullish. The DXY index is relatively bullish from the daily time frame. You could see price filled this fair value gap right here, and then it's bouncing back up. We're looking at the XY coming to this particular zone right here. Yes, that particular zone. Or we could see more buys also to a different eye. So yes, that's it. So when you can get the movement of DXY, I will also have another fair value gap right here. So there's a possibility for us to see a pullback, tap into this FVG, go up, but I doubt that is what DXY is going to do. Or we could just see a continuous buy for a long period of time. But this is a daily time frame analysis actually. This is my analysis on a daily time frame. We could just see a buy down up to here. So let's check the 4 hours. Yes, welcome to this, the 4 hours time frame. You could see we tap this particular OB, this particular 4-hour OB. This FVG right here, that's where DXY tapped into, and now it's getting bullish. So our lookout for DXY for the week is more buys, more buys, more buys. But if we're going to have a market structure shift, we would see DXY high, lower high, lower low, back and forth. See it go and get more buys. That's what we're looking at, more buys for DXY. And more buys for DXY view this week. Yes, more buys. But we could have a short term sale, a little bit to fill in some gap which is in between, most especially this gap that is here. Price might decide to come and retest or fill those gaps, but we should be looking towards more buys, when it comes to the DXY index. So we're seeing the dollar getting bullish this week. And also, by the way, I will drop more lookouts if the view changes when the market opens. Now look at, I had a buy view on GU earlier, which didn't go well at all for me. So our eyes down is to looking at more BS on GU becoming bearish, GBP USD. If you could see, GBP USD has like been ranging for some time within this week, taking and clearing internal liquidity. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry. See this move right here. You see this particular move right here. This price swept liquidity here, put back up, came down, touched the OB, put back up again, swept liquidity of this eye, swept liquidity of this eye. Now, one thing we see is one thing we see is once price accept the liquidity of the remark here. This is the external eye, like a major eye, and then this is a major low, and we have a major low right here. This is a major low, and we could see price has already broken the major low. So what we are going to be looking more is selling. We're looking at selling more of GBP this week. Our view should be GBP going down to. I'm looking at GBP coming down to this daily time frame fair value gap right here. This FVG right here within this daily time frame. This FVG right here. That's what I'm looking at. We're taking GBP is following back to the trend. Normally the market trend has been bearish for a long period of time. I believe since January. So we could see it. We could see this price came down here, swept liquidity of this low, bounced back up, and we could see that price bounced back up, pulled back again. Price has to respect this. There are certain zones that you see that when liquidity is being swept below that previous low, and price, we're going to be expecting price to come back there again to retest, and we expect more buys that broke this structure. Now as price has broken this structure, we're seeing an external low. Now this is now what we see as a major market structure shift. This is a major one, this break right here. So now we look for an entry, or we get our PDRA. Our PDRA could be would look for FVG that has not been indicated, order block, or a breaker block. But for me, I do love more of fair value gaps and OBs. That's what I love more. So now let's look out for the FVG and OB. We could see this FVG got mitigated by Friday. This FVG right here got mitigated by Friday. The price bumped back down. So what are we going to look at for our entry model? We might look at the way price open within a Monday, and then from that period we get the move. But for me, if I'm going to look for a more nicer entry that's going to suit my own taste and the way I trade price action, if we look up here, we could see this right here. Let's just over this eye. Which one is this one again? Sorry. Sorry, it's right here. The usual market was ranging. This particular zone, we don't trade within it. It's a ranging market. You could see. You could see the market right here. Price came back to here, pulled back. Another one. Then swept lower high. Then boom. We have the sales right here. So for me, I'm going to look at this unmitigated order block and this fair value gap right here for my entry. This one right here for sell buyers and a sell above this particular high, because if you can see, before this high was formed right here, price swept liquidity of previous high. Price swept liquidity of this particular previous high, then start bouncing back. So that should be our next I will call this a zone, or a zone that price is really going to need to tap into again. But since price has already filled this fair value gap right here, the 1 hour time frame, price has already filled it, we might be getting another entry within here. But the best thing I would say to anyone trading this is, from what I'm seeing, we might be having slight pullback back to there. Why would we be having slight pullback? Why would we be having slight pullback? Because of market has shown its own buyers. They've shown us the move, yes, or in a bearish trend already. But we might be having a pullback to there, or by Monday market opening, if we could get another entry right here, this FVG like this. But for me to trade this one, I do the one is to 3 1 now. Short position right here. My entry within the top this week, this top week now, this FVG. We're seeing the OB. I believe everybody know what an OB is. For those that don't know, I'll be starting a trading section. Like, I'll be dropping more tutorial videos. Yes, more tutorial videos. So I might gonna be having an entry within here. In this OB right here. Yes, that's okay. That's okay. If you check the 1 hour time frame, that's going to be okay. And then we would have price selling down more to here. One reason I add this entries, because there's something that I know that some certain F videos on certain other blogs will be tested in the later future, not yet now. So if we see what I want to see is price during Monday market opening, you could see price pulling down more. I want to see price pulling down more. as price has already broken this major low right here. Price has broken this major low. I'm sorry, please. Price has broken this major low. Yeah, more break. I want to see it create another FVG. When it creates a new fair value gap right here, it creates a new fair value gap right here, then the day market opening, then I would say this particular zone up here should be for sales because of one FVG that one way I know is FVG, or I know that is going to work, is the FVG that created another fair value gap. Yes, this particular FVG right here broke structure, so we're going to be looking for another FVG within below this break of structure, and once it's being formed, this particular zone right here is going to be our entry, and then we're going to be keeping an SL above this right here. Thank you. That's all for GBP USD.